Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
You text me then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. You know. 205-964-5243. You know.
What is that?
Air.
We gotta
It's air.
shout.
Do that one more notch down to 73.
We gotta
You about to all
shout.
say this. You know I got going.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? We're back. Guess we missed Friday. We missed Thursday during the day, Friday, Monday.
We're having trouble streaming to Facebook.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is that?
We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook's end.
On all of Facebook? Just one of them look like. That's fine. That's fine. We're good. Don't worry about it. Just click it on. That's good. Okay. So we're back for Flip Man's Daily Live, wholesaling real estate without using your cash or credit, aka Fliptainment. Afternoon, morning Q&A. We're here to answer your questions if possible. If I don't know the answer, guess what? Google probably does, and I'm not afraid to tell you that I don't. I know a few things. Everything you need, and I mean everything you need, you can probably text to get a response on at 205-964-5243. That is the number. Appreciate everyone that has participated in the community so far, trying to add more value. Value. That's the name of the game. Make some money. I may make a few coins in the process, so whatever. You get more than I get. That's the name of the game. So value. So value. You know how to add the, you can put that on the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to add the YouTube link for that? You don't? Well, what you do is,
Don't I have to?
you can, what you can do is just find us live and grab the share link. And then once you get to the story and get ready to add it, you go up there and tap that link. And just maybe put swipe up or something on there. So, boom. And so, anyway, the topic of today is how much money per month would it take for you to quit your job as a wholesaler? Now that's going to be relative to your situation, right? For some people, $3,000 a month would be enough. Some people, 30 grand may need to be the number. I have no idea or whatever, but some people definitely $5,000, 7,500, 10, 15,000. Point of it all is only you're going to know that. Now I've talked to people in the past, they see a video of mine or somebody else's and man, this is an unbelievable opportunity. And it is. And they just quit their job that day, right? Now, again, everyone's financial situation is different and who you're responsible for. I'm technically only responsible for me, right? Now, I do quite a bit for my immediate relatives, but let me go back. When I first found out about this and started actually doing it to make some money, I was technically only responsible for me, or what I would even doing what I was doing for my folks now compared to then, or whatever. So it's really me. I had a girlfriend, but I technically wasn't responsible for her way of being, even though she benefited greatly at the time or whatever, but I technically wasn't responsible for her way of being. It's just if you like me and I like you, I'm going to show you I like me through whatever resources that I have available, whatever. So, but my point is, some people have kids, they're married, they may be taking care of a parent, grandparent, whoever, aunt, uncle, whatever. So your situation is going to dictate how much money you need to really need. Ideally, what I would recommend that you do, have at least 6 months of bills saved. 6 months of your lifestyle, but more so bills, right? And you're gonna have to have that discipline to be able to just pull from that amount only for bills, and you're gonna make some sacrifices until you may have a year worth of bills or whatever. Even after you quit your job, you may escalate because you're able to put more time into it or scale up because you can put more time in it. So only you can answer that question. That Smoker the Bear would say, only you.
And prevent forest fires.
Wow, these girls, they know all the jingles, all the slogans. Oh boy, so do we have questions? Ken, Jesse. And happy birthday to one of my co-hosts here. Actually, it was yesterday. She turned 13. Oh, that's too young. We're gonna say she turned 19 yesterday, right? And she's looking great. So boom. So we should have had a picture of the cake we could have put up there that the company sponsored for. Anyway,
right.
So what we got?
Okay, this is on TikTok, your journey when you started wholesaling real estate.
What was my journey?
Yes.
I saw it. Well,
You kind of already said that.
I already
in the
saw
midst
it.
of you saying it, they posted it.
Yeah. I bought a course. Long story short, I bought a course.
Porsche. I was gonna say, oh really?
No. Bought a course for $400. It was a bootleg version of a course that normally costs $1,500, right? Listened to that course. Took me about 3 weeks to get through it. It was because it was more than wholesaling. It was about wholesaling, lease options, subject to, flip and fix, buy and hold, just going from not knowing anything about real estate to being bombarded with all of these different techniques to make money basically with no money, all right, and on some of them. And so I just put it into action. The things that stuck to me most were wholesaling, lease options, and bandit signs. Bandit signs because I didn't have to actually call anyone. If I put the message out there that I buy houses, the numbers would just take over and people will call me. 2003, a good number of people had mobile phones then or whatever, right? Fast forward 18 years later, everybody got one. They used to call them car phones in the day or whatever. So, and people would be like, you'll have one, but you didn't have a car. It was like frowned upon, like you're stupid or whatever. So now it's probably, it ain't no big deal. If you don't have one, you look stupid or whatever. So, because this is the way we communicate or whatever. So that being said, I'm going all around the bush. So I bought the course, bought some signs after I felt I was comfortable enough to know what I was doing, which I still really didn't know. I bought I paid $250 for 50 signs, which was a drastic overpayment, but I didn't know any better. That was still new to me also. Put them out on a Sunday morning. The next day on Monday, the very first 2 calls I received were deals. One of them was a lease option opportunity that blew up in my face. Had to get a lady her $5,000 back. And then the second one I closed, which was a wholesale deal. I made $2,500. So that's how I got started. The rest is history.
All right, someone made a statement on TikTok. First time here, I'm ready to learn.
Let's get it.
And then
You're in the right place.
And then this is on Instagram. How do you advertise to a potential buyer? Do you send them the ARV and the price and your price and the address to the property, or what?
Well, ideally, the more information you can provide for them, photos. I like to do video. I'll go out and video the property and then upload it to a YouTube channel and then just share the link, probably through text or whatever. Ideally, what you can do is you can still give them an idea what you think it's going to cost to repair the ARV, but in reality, they're going to do their own due diligence. It's just you may strike their interest on the numbers and photo or video that you send of the property. They'll do their own due diligence to see if they're interested in buying it or whatever. Now, you can get even more detailed. If you have a subscription of Dealulator, aka PropStream, you can actually send them a comp report, which will justify the ARV that you've given them or whatever. So, boom.
All right, just go down in order. Charles Jr. from YouTube, he said, I'm finally on time. Thank you for joining us.
That's what's up, Charles. Oh, hey, man, that's what's happening.
All right, Wu-Tang 23361 from YouTube said it's really a seller market and they know it.
Well, yes, but you're still going to have motivated sellers out there. You're basing this on the realtor world, which is a huge part of it. Don't get me wrong. When I say real estate agents world, yes, it's a seller's market, period, right? Strong seller's market right now. But you still have people that will be motivated to sell because of life, divorce, death, job or income loss, house needs too many repairs, tired landlord, which is going to be the largest group of individuals, right? So you get it, just life. That exists. Everything I just named exists everywhere. The bigger the city, the more of those problems exist. You as a wholesaler, you as a real estate investor, your job is to make sure you're doing an effective job of letting people know you exist. And they call that marketing and advertising. That's why we talk about bandit signs, direct mail, cold calling, driving for dollars, text messaging, ringless voicemail, Facebook ad, door knocking, if I didn't say it. You get it. You get the point. Marketing. Walmart is $1 trillion company. If they still feel they need to run TV ads, internet ads, stuff in the mail, and they making plenty of money, guess what you need to do as a small business? You need to be letting people, everybody already know what Walmart is. If they didn't do any more marketing, they still probably would be profitable. But they're afraid to stop marketing and advertising because they're afraid that the competition can catch them or whatever. So you as a small business owner, that's what you are as an investor / wholesaler. You need to be definitely letting people know you exist on the services that you offer, which is you buy houses. Boom.
Period. Okay, I'm not sure this first name, but the last name is Hackett from YouTube. They said, hi, Ty. Whenever I try to add my chosen properties and skip tracing, the add selected contacts does not activate. I tried with 62 properties and even tried with just 10 properties and it still does not.
Which I reached out, I texted you back earlier, you're gonna have to reach out to support to get someone to troubleshoot that for you, see what your issue is. I think I texted you the number too. So the support for a prop stream.
All right.
If that doesn't work, just reach back out to me. I'll try to get someone to call you or whatever. So.
All right, this one's from Alluring Fire on YouTube. She said, happy born day, Taurus season. That's right, gang, gang. Okay, Tara Stewart also said, happy belated birthday, thank you. This one's from We Buy Houses Cash. They said, what's the process of dealing with an owner that's out of state?
It's really no different or whatever. You'll communicate through them by phone, text, email, maybe even mail. Or whatever, it's still the same thing. You still got to get access to, still needs to be a great deal. Obviously, they need to want to sell. You still have to send them a contract. You can do that by email or mail if needed, but normally email will work through DocuSign or one of those services. They can do an electronic signature. You're still going to have to get access to the property, whether it's vacant or not, in most cases. You're still going to have to market to buyers. The only difference is they're not there. I actually prefer deals that I can get on the contract with people that don't live in the city. Because now, normally I can put that deal together where the seller and the buyer never even meet or whatever. Almost guaranteed in a lot, not always, but almost guaranteed. Because we use technology to make the deal happen.
All right, this is on Instagram. Flip, what's your thoughts on the new TCPA compliance stuff?
That's not new. That's unless it's something they've updated or whatever. But he's talking about the do not call list and being able to just cold call people, I guess even text message if they didn't ask for it or whatever. So that's nothing new or whatever. So you can scrub those. There are going to be some scrub services out there that'll scrub for the DNC list, the do not call list, and you can submit it through those or whatever. So.
All right. This is from Nakia. She said, happy belated birthday.
From who?
Then Nakia.
How they spell it?
Nika.
So.
Did I say it right?
No, go ahead. You said.
Okay.
Yeah, not the person I was thinking about.
Huh?
Not the person I was thinking about. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And then this is also on Instagram. How can we meet?
They say what?
How can we meet?
Oh, hey, how you doing? What's going on? What's happening?
Maybe they talk about meeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You didn't answer. She said, "How can we meet?"
I did what?
You didn't answer. She said, "How can we meet?"
I thought I said a hello. Today.
We meeting right now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is on TikTok. Just want to know how to take a step in the right direction with this.
Well, you've already made a step by even trying to educate yourself. You just need to access this education in more detail than just this 45 minutes to an hour of me asking random questions. You access my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and do a search for Flip Man. You should see the logo caricature of me with Flip Man on a red shirt holding some cash, and dive in. It's all there. Over 600 videos, 12 plus years of me telling you what I know about the business. You can take advantage of that. So now, obviously, when you educate yourself, the education is worthless if you don't put it into action and just understand this business. Well, after you educate yourself, really the first thing you want to do is determine how are you going to generate daily leads based on your resources, time, and you as a person. Whether that'll be driving for dollars, door knocking, cold calling, bandit signs, text messaging, ringless voicemail, voice broadcast, Facebook ad, Google ads, other wholesalers. So it's just going to just depend on how you want to start generate leads, because that's really 90% of the business. How effective are you at generating daily leads? Because it just turns into numbers. You have to talk to a lot of people to get to a deal, and that's where you got to tackle it. Leads.
All right. This is also on TikTok. Are wholesale deals possible via text only?
I've done that before. Eventually we're gonna have to talk, but that's why text messaging is so people are so comfortable communicating that way, or whatever. So, before people used to only communicate face to face. Then they created some type of mail system, right, by letters or a pigeon or something, and then they probably went to some type of phone services. They got comfortable with communicating that way and making business deals. Fast forward, that probably went on for years. Fax machines got in the mix some kind of way. They communicated through fax. Then we moved forward to the internet. We created email. So,
You
I'm sorry. So then now we have text messaging or whatever. We used to have pages. We somewhat communicate through those. I skipped pages and anyway. So to answer your question, yeah. Oh, the pigeons? Oh, yeah. You ain't see the Game of Thrones?
All right, this is on Instagram.
Greatest story ever told, man.
Oh my God. I'm trying to be serious. All right. How do you deal, or how did you deal with the deal that blew up in your face? I think that's what they were trying to say.
Oh, I didn't know, that was my first introduction. They blew up in my face because, it was a lease option. Okay, I guess I'll tell the story since they asked a direct question. All right, dude called me, a house. Matter of fact, it's on a Scooter Road in Birmingham. People that know that, it's Scooter Road. And what it was is his mom died. Like I said, death. That happens everywhere, whether you want it to happen or not. Death. His mom died, left him a house that still had a mortgage on it. The house was in livable condition, but what he owed on it was more than what made sense for a wholesale deal. But for a lease option, it would have cash flowed very well. All right. He didn't live in the house. He had his own house. He was already paying a mortgage on his house, so he couldn't afford to pay both. So I was the solution. So I explained to him how the lease option works. I'm going to lease it to you, and then I'm going to cover your monthly payment. That's it. No, nothing over. And how I'm going to make my money, I'm going to lease it out to someone at a higher price each month, and I'm going to collect the difference. On top of that, the price that you and I agree upon that you're selling it to me for, that's what I'll cash you out for in the next 2 to 3 years. if the tenant buyer put in here ever gets an actual mortgage. But I'm also going to sell it at a higher price, and I'll get that difference also in that 2 to 3 years. On top of that, they're going to give me a down payment that I'm going to stick all in my pocket. I explained all of that to him. Advertised the property. This nurse called me, single lady, single mom, and she didn't have the credit, but she had some bread, right? I wanted, I think, more than $5,000, but we agreed on $5,000. She met me at an Old Charlie's on, what is that, Center Point Parkway? You remember when Old Charlie used to be up on the hill? That Center Point Parkway?
The one where it's a crab place.
I know it's a crab place now. I'm saying, what street is that? That's, what is that?
Like the Parkway.
Okay, the Parkway, whatever. So, and gave me 50 $100 bills. At that time, I had never seen that much money before in my life outside of a tax return. I normally get something in the 2000, probably doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. Anyway, claiming somebody I wasn't supposed to claim. Let me just say that. So anyway, so I think the time expired. So, so I was like, man, this stuff works. So me being who I am, trying to keep everybody happy, and that'll get you in trouble sometimes because some people don't want to be happy or whatever. And so I gave, the house needed a few repairs, but it was livable. So the guy that owned the house, he mentioned through our conversation that he was a handyman or whatever. So I'm trying to create a win-win-win. So I said, well, hey, Mr. Something Mix, something, I forget what his last name was. He said he could probably do those repairs, but she was like, yeah, he could do it. He's familiar with the house, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so also the guy that owned the house, he asked me, did I know someone that could help him refinance the house that he was living in? One of the guys that I worked with, I still had a job at that time, did mortgages on the side. So again, I was trying to create another win-win, make my boy some money, get his refinance, you know, make him happy. So during the conversations, my boy told him that I had already had somebody that was gonna move in the house, and the lady had already given me $5,000. So when he was supposed to meet the lady over there to talk about the repairs, he was upset because he felt I was supposed to give him, if not some, all of that money because he was messed up financially or whatever. So when he came over there, he cussed the lady out, let her know, hey, Tyrone does not own this house, and he was going to call the police. So she called me upset, crying because she thought she had been scammed. I said, hey, where are you right now? I said, all I need to do is just go to the bank, get the money, and I'll bring it to you. I'll apologize. I'm not sure what happened. So I did that. I think I had already spent $700, so I had to come up with that, whatever I did. I don't remember how, but anyway, so I gave her money. So during my boy and our conversation, dude I worked with, he said the guy was a preacher. Not that it matters or whatever, but it's going to be relative. So I called him. We got into a screaming match, you know, saying some stuff we shouldn't have been saying to each other. And so I threw some shade and said, hey, I heard you were a preacher. I don't know who's following you, but they're in trouble. And so he said, if I ever see you again, it ain't gonna be pretty. And that's when we hung up. So the 5,000 I had to give back to her, whatever. So.
All right. On my end, I see you, Miss Maureen. I'm about to add you to the stream.
Oh, okay, yay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to say if you want to get pushed to the. Hey, what's happening? This
Happy
our truck.
birthday.
Oh yeah, Jessica.
Thank you.
That's Jessica. Yeah.
You're welcome.
What's happening?
Okay. Oh, not much. All right. So I have, I guess, a couple questions. It's about pre-foreclosures.
Okay.
How would that work in a wholesale deal? Like, are you taking over, or is your end buyer taking over for the seller, or are they helping the seller catch up with their payments?
Okay. All right. A couple of directions you can go on that. Hold on 1 second. Should be like in the private area. All right. So, so you want to know if they're behind on payments, they're going through a pre-foreclosure, and say that again for them. I'm sorry. Say that again for them. I got distracted. Repeat your question again for me, if you will.
Okay, so if they're in a pre-foreclosure, will my end buyer be helping them like catch up with their payments, or are they taking
Oh,
over
okay.
like a wholesale deal? Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so a couple of factors here. Now, for a wholesale deal, what they owe, okay, let's use some numbers here. Say the house, the ARV is we have to start there. Say the ARV is 200,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they owe 160. Now,
Okay.
for a wholesale deal, without even doing the numbers, that doesn't work, right? It'll have to be less than that without knowing what the repairs are, if there are any. It still wouldn't work. But for a lease option or a subject to deal, it may be perfect because it may still be able to cash flow depending on her monthly payment, right? So for you as the wholesaler, if you were going to approach it on a lease option or subject to, but you didn't want to remain in the deal, then you may set up the terms and then wholesale out the terms for a fee. And so that end buyers, I call them cash buyers, would then have to catch up the payments, right? They're going to whatever necessary documents needed to do the lease option or subject to, and then they would put a tenant buyer in there at a higher rate than the mortgage is to get that cash flow. And then they would, what I'm trying to say, and then they would probably get a down payment also, and then they would get a back end on it also, meaning like if they agreed to sell it for 160, basically what they owe, probably a little more than that with the fees, but we'll just say 160. They may put a price on there of 220, assuming a little appreciation, but the down payment would bring that down. They may want 15 or 20 down, which will go in their pocket, and that'll bring it back down to the $200,000 ARV. You see what I'm saying? So that's how the cash buyer would make their money. But if it's a situation where it's a pre-foreclosure, the ARV is 200,000 and they only owe 60,000, then now it's just a normal wholesale deal. You get it under contract for 60, even when we said 70, right? Because you don't have to go through the short sale process. You may wholesale it back out to somebody for 110 or 120, and you get that difference of, we'll just say 70, so it'll be $40,000 or $50,000 payday or whatever. Just using an example. So it just depends on what's going on. See, when people hear pre-foreclosures or just the word foreclosures, we automatically think it's a great deal, and in most cases it's not. Now, they can be negotiated into a great deal, but the one thing about pre-foreclosures and foreclosures in general, there's a lot of competition because those are what appear to be the low-hanging fruit for actual investors that are out there getting it, because agents are sending, why is it echo? Out there getting it, and then you're gonna have newbies out there looking at foreclosures because that's the first thing they think about. There's a lot of competition for those, and you're not, as a wholesaler, what gives you an advantage as a wholesaler to be able to put a lot of deals together is you're finding something that no one else has found, basically. And then you're the one advertising it to the world, so everything has to filter to you. Not saying you can't do pre-foreclosures, not saying you can't do foreclosures. Those are just generally harder, especially for people just starting out.
Okay, I have one more question. So if they have equity on the house, how does that affect, or how would that affect the wholesale?
That's the whole thing. We're on the equity hunt. You can call it, instead of calling us wholesalers, you can call us equity hunters. Okay. That's what we're always looking for. And if people don't understand what equity means, like that example I just gave where the ARV, meaning what would the house appraise for in excellent condition after repair value, what it actually stands for. And they only owe 60,000, including whatever fees or whatever, but we're just gonna say 60,000, that the actual equity is the difference between the 200,000 and the 60,000, which is 140,000. So the equity is everything. That's where the profit is made, is through how much equity is made available. See, you have to think about it as far as a cash investor. They're not going to, a lot of people think, okay, so if they're asking 200 and I can get it for 180, then I can wholesale it, we'll just say 5,000, then the investor can make 10,000. Even if that was true, it's not true because you got to pay closing costs, normally got to pay a realtor. But even if that's true, they're not going to spend 180,000 to make 10,000. It
Yeah.
just doesn't work that way. It's too big of a risk on your money for that small of a profit. And a lot of times you don't know what your exact amount that you're going to make. So that's why on that $200,000 house, they would be more happy with 40, 50, 60,000 after all is said and done. After paying a realtor, paying you, paying closing costs, rehab, renovations, everything, a $40,000 to $60,000 payday is more attractive. See what I'm saying? So
Makes
right.
sense. All right. Thank you, guys.
Well, where are you streaming from?
Stanford, Connecticut.
Stanford, Connecticut. Oh, that's what's up. What's the weather like up there today?
It's like 60, 65.
Okay, that's cool.
This morning was like 40, so
Okay,
praying for
right.
the summer.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Great to meet you.
All right. Thanks, you too. Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, if you want to do it, what was her name? If you want to do what Maureen just did, all you have to do is just text to 205-964-5243 and just say, Ty, put me on. Whatever you want to put on there. Say, I want to get on the live stream right now. Now, if you're seeing this after we not live, then we're not live, but we're live right now. So the 205-964-5243. If you want a copy of the contract I've been using since 2003, text the word contract. You want to learn how to text message the proper way, text the word text. You want the script to be able to talk to sellers on your cold calls or vacant houses or incoming calls, text the word script. If you want to learn about probate, how to get instant probate leads. I can't believe I hadn't already talked about that. Text the word probate. If you need a CRM to manage your leads, you should have your leads being managed. You have your cold calling leads in one pipeline, your driving for dollar leads in another pipeline, your bird dog leads in another pipeline, direct mail, text messaging. They should be all separated. And with the CRM, you can communicate with sellers through phone calls that are recorded. So if you have a VA or a partner or even yourself, you can always go back and listen to the message for maybe the tone of the message or something you may have forgotten. Or if you're training a VA or working with a VA, you need to know what they're saying. Wouldn't it be lovely to hear what they're saying? No, they shouldn't have said that. Or they need to say more of this. Or I need to correct this. Or you just as simple as see if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. The CRM system will give you that option. Text messaging, you can text sellers back and forth if that's the best form of communication with them. Email, ringless voicemail, you can drop those. CRM does all of that and more. Plus, if you want to build a cash buyers list pipeline. So you can get a deal. Now you can actually text blast your cash buyers list or drop them a ringless voicemail or call them individually, however you want to do. Boom, it does all of that. Next question, who's next?
All right, this is on Instagram. What time do you start your lives and which days?
Man, what time do we start, guys? Central. Normally with 12:30, just say 12:30 to 1 Central or whatever, normally.
And then what days?
Oh, normally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thursday, we don't do it during the day because I do the Comps 101 at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then we do my regular Flipper at 8 p.m. Eastern. That really all kick this stuff off, so.
All right, this is on TikTok. How do you set up an LLC for wholesaling in your operating agreement in Florida?
Well, it's no different than setting up any other LLC. When they ask them the questions, what do? You're a real estate investor, period, or whatever. If it asks for a more description, I buy and sell real estate. That's pretty much answers it. From that point on, everything else is just fill in the blank on your information.
All right, have you ever used text magic to send text?
I have, but that's a text blast, and that's not the proper way of doing it to a large number. If you text me on the 205-964-5243 and the word text, I'll send you the video on the proper way of doing that.
All right.
They missed us?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, you explained that.
It's great to be missed.
All right. So Thomas Jeter asked, how do you vet a so-called cash buyer before you need a cash buyer?
How do you vet a cash buyer before you get a so-called cash buyer? Well, for me, it's really simple. It's just a conversation, man. I put a property on Zillow. Reese, I don't normally do that or whatever. It's a property I bought. Probably gonna end up rehabbing it, for some friends that want to invest in it or whatever, or at least putting it in that direction or whatever. But anyway, but for me, you was listening yesterday when the guy was calling about him. That house or whatever. I'm saying the people that call and want to buy it or whatever. Yeah, and the wholesalers just stick out like a sore thumb. It's fine, but you just need to let me know you're I'll work with you. But and they didn't know I was just not a regular person. I just went on and told them, man, I bought it to resale. I'm an investor also. I just go on and break the ice with them or whatever. And so one wholesaler sent over a contract with a $1 earnest money deposit. And what did I say, Ken? You were dying laughing at? Yeah, so anyway, the price that he put on that worked, but I can't take that. But a cash buyer is going to talk like this. When you ask them, how fast can you close? Yeah, he wanted 30 days. Yeah, the other dude wanted 30 days too, didn't he? And so, but he got the money right now, but it shouldn't take 30 days, man. He told me, well, I got to check the title out. And like, okay, yeah, I know that, but I just bought the house. You know what I'm saying? So the title is straight. You're still going to run title, but it shouldn't be any issue. I just bought the house or whatever. So, but anyway, and then he only wanted to do $500 earnest money, which is cool, but normally at least $1,000. And he was tripping about that or whatever. Now, again, he may be a real player. I just didn't like how he was talking. So I'm rambling. But normally when you ask them how fast can they close, the response should be, or something close to this, as soon as we can get a clear title. Period. Unless they have hard money or some form of private lending involved. That process may take a little longer. And so if they say, well, 14 to 21 days, then say what you use hard money or private lending, then, if they are, then okay, it probably takes that long in a lot of cases or whatever. But if they say no, I say, well, you got cash. Why would it take that long? Blah, blah, blah. I understand if there's some title issues, but 14 days, if we need to extend it, we'll extend it. Or whatever, we should be able to get this done in 14 days. Earnest money deposit. No, I'm not going to accept anything less than 1,000. I want at least 2,000 in most cases or whatever. So it's just going to talk that talk. It ain't going to be I need 30 days. They're going to talk like you talk when you're talking to sellers or whatever. No. If you real deal, you're going to close as soon as it's proved that this property is something that can be sold. Period. It's not hard to determine who's a real cash buyer or not. That bread talks, man.
All right.
It's calling me.
And I'm going to listen.
Somebody said too much goofing. Oh, I already said.
I had to say. I was like, they said you goofing in. This person was like, oh, he's so serious. I'm going to be like,
Yeah, I can't win, can I? Well, hey, whatever, Y'all know I am. What, am I serious or what?
Bro, always so serious.
Really? Wow.
Man.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm curious, but yeah, but what y'all think? Y'all deal with me every day. What? Really?
Wait, I think you just be normal.
Yeah. I do little stuff. They know they always know I'm overdue something. Just like we did the birthday cake, I had to just poke at Ken. Even though it wasn't even her birthday. Well, yeah, that's what I'm attempting to do, Ken. I'm trying to. I ain't no damn entertainer by no means. Yeah, this stuff boring. This stuff really is boring, really. Really. I have to, because I'm saying the same stuff over and over again. I'm saying the same stuff over and over again. Yeah, I'm saying, so I ain't complaining. I appreciate everybody watching. I'm just telling you who I am as a person. I love to laugh. They know I love to just on the floor laughing if we can find something funny, or whatever. Hey, laughter is good for you.
We ready?
Yeah, we ready. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. TJ Vines from YouTube. Y'all. TJ Vines from YouTube said, "What's good, big man? How do you handle a deal when money is still owed on the house? How does this change your offer?"
Well, we sort of explained it a
Yeah.
moment ago, but I'll just briefly explain it. If money is still owed on the property, whether it's a mortgage or taxes, liens, or whatever, a combination of whatever, as long as the price that you need to work to make the deal work is more than what they owe and they're willing to accept that, it's no big issue. But if they owe more than what makes the deal work for you, then it's a deal breaker. For a wholesaler, it's a deal breaker. It's simple, just simple math. The house is worth 100,000 fixed up. They owe 80. That's a deal breaker for wholesaling. But the house worth 100,000 fixed up and they owe 5,000. Now you got some room to work with, depending on what they else accept. So.
All right, this one's from Jay on YouTube. He said, "How do you get over the reluctance to call?"
Woo, you talking to the choir now, man. My feelings get hurt on stuff like that. That's probably why I'm still a virgin.
All right, moving right on.
But my point hey, but anyway, my point is that, you know, like I marvel at guys, and this is sales. This is technically still sales, because that's what you're doing. You cold calling. Even though we're calling to give out money, it's still basically a sales call, because you're telling them, you're asking them, you're giving out money, but you're asking them to take a huge discount on their house. So it's still technically a sales call. So you're going to get a lot of rejections, hang up in the face. How do you get my number? F off. Dude told me if he found me, he was going to, he had a 38 pistol. He was going to blow my brains out. You get all kind of crazy stuff. So when you're trying to talk to women, if you're just in the mall, guys that just can walk up to a chick, never seen her before, and talk to her, and I can't do that. That's not how I've met women in the past. They're forced to talk to me. Maybe like it may be in a classroom or something like that where they're forced to talk to me. So cold calling is the same way for me. If I do some cold calling and somebody just be nasty with me, I'm ready to go home and get in the fetal position. My feelings hurt or whatever. But you don't have to be the one to do it. You either partner with someone or hire someone to do things that either you're not good at or not willing to do, right? But you still know it needs to be done. That's business. You're not going to be good at everything. That doesn't exist or whatever. Now, if they call me, which that's what these bandit signs allow you to do, now they want something from me. Be no different if a young lady said, "Hey, you're cute." Okay, now we're going somewhere. I can talk to her. I hadn't got that often, but hey, now we're in business or whatever. So if someone calls you on a bandit sign, hey, they want some. You already halfway there, because they want to sell a house, you want to buy a house. Now you still got to negotiate a deal to make the numbers work or whatever. But so I had that same problem. Right now, some people will get over that fear because, hey, these bills need to be paid. And I'll get over that fear of cold calling. Because in business, you're going to do things you don't want to do. It's just, I can't do cold call. I'm not going to be good at it or whatever. So I'll give up some money to help someone to get that portion of the business done if I'm using that form of marketing. So that's my solution to it. I know I went all around the world. I tried to make it entertaining. So I don't know if I accomplished it or not.
We're going to move right on.
Moving on.
Cassida Peters, she said, "Should we start off as an official business name?"
Well, how do you say her name? Cassidy. I said that's Cassidy.
Cassidy.
That's Cassidy, I believe. Cassida. Cassidy. She the one normally get the names right. What I'm about to say?
Should we start off?
Okay. Yeah, that's talking about like a business license or LLC or something. And ideally, yes, because you're running a business. But sometimes people they don't have the budget to start marketing or advertising to generate leads and put together an LLC. Some people just don't have which you don't cost $100, $200, maybe depending on your state, if you're doing it yourself or whatever. So it won't kill you to do maybe one deal in your name. You'll have the money then to establish your LLC or whatever entity you want to use, business entity you want to use. So technically, you don't have to start with that, but ideally, you want to get it done early on. But don't let that stop you from starting.
All right, this is on Instagram. How many signs should I put out every week? I'm in Houston, Texas.
Ideally, at least 100. 50 will work, but ideally 100 or more. I'm more. I always more if you can afford it. Ideally 100, but 50 would do. Now, you don't just want to get out there and put out 100 all in one day or 2 days, and then 2 days later, all of them are down. You want to, if you've never done it before, you want to test. Put out maybe 15, wait 2 or 3 days, see how many of those still up. If they are, compound. You want to continue to do that in different areas. Now, it's also important, one of the simple things you can do is see where signs already exist in your market or whatever, and piggyback off those. I know we want to be in the areas where nobody else is there. It just really don't work that way with Bandit signs. They're nothing new or whatever. So you're just going to use the success of others and following, behind them.
All right, will you do partnership in South Carolina?
Yeah, you know what? I believe out of all the states, even though South Carolina population-wise is smaller than a lot of other states, I probably get more people to hit me up in South Carolina than anywhere, based on the population compared to other larger populated states. But to answer your question, yeah, in the larger cities, most definitely. You can always text me on the number, the 205-964-5243. That girl sleeping from the beach. And just send over 5050, and that video will explain how to submit your deals. If you have if you want to partner with me, if you have a property under contract, you're dealing directly with the owner, it's a great deal, and it's off market. And my definition of off market, if I Google the address, it shouldn't be for sale anywhere on the internet.
All right, this person is in a small town. They want to wholesale. What should they do?
Well, I grew up in a small town, less than 1,000 people, and it's very difficult to wholesale in a small town. You may be talking about a much larger town than that, but it's difficult. It's just a population thing. The more people that you have, the more people to target property owners, the more deals are available to do. Ideally, I would like for a market to have at least 250,000 in population or more. You could do smaller for sure, but can you eat consistently and smaller? Maybe even 150,000, but it's just about how many deals you can do, because it's just not a lot of people to target or whatever. So this is all about the number of people.
Have you done any subject to property?
I've done a couple over the years, really not my lane. I sort of hate I haven't done it more, with all the opportunities that probably presented themselves, but hey, we make mistakes.
All right. Jose Fernandez said, how do you go about a deal where tenants are in the property?
Well, it could be a turnkey situation. If they're already paying the market rent for that area, sometimes you can do those deals. Well, a lot of times you can do those deals, and some buyers prefer those. They don't have to do anything but just buy it and then just start collect cash flow. It could be that situation. But if it's a situation where they're not a good tenant or whatever, they are paying, but they're paying when they want to, basically, just enough to keep them in there or whatever, then they probably gonna have to go, right? And so you can ask them to go and they leave or whatever, depending on what lease agreement they have in place. If that's not the case, they don't want to do that, because sometimes buyers won't even buy them if it's a bad tenant until the tenant is gone or whatever. So I've paid them to leave in the past, but you only pay them when you get paid. Now, you may have to front some moving costs, not in their hands. You go pay for the U-Haul or the 2 men in a truck or whatever, and you help them move. I remember one time I did that, and she swore she was moving out. I had already promised her the break. I think I would give her $1,000 after we closed, and they were just picking around. We had to close the next day. Well, let me see. We had to close 2 days later. And so I had to, 3 days later. And so when I went over there, I said, oh, this ain't gonna get done by whatever the day was. And so I had in my mind, I went and rented a U-Haul type truck, had one of my boys with it. If people know me, they know I don't like to do no physical work if I can help it, right? When I was a teenager, did enough of that. right? Even in my 20s, my cousin often admit to me, said, you said you weren't gonna do stuff like this when we grew up. And I said, no, if there's another option. But anyway, but I had in my mind that I would be one of my homeboys, I was gonna pay him, we were gonna move them out of there. And I hadn't done any moving in years for somebody or whatever. And so we get over there, and I really, once you get over there and realize how much stuff is over there for real and pick up a couple of pieces, I said, oh, me and him ain't gonna be able to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I'll be back. So the next day, I went and picked up a couple of my Hispanic brothers. Hey, picked up, but the two of them or three? There's two of them. Hey, boy, made it happen. Moved the whole house out, probably in like 5 hours. They took the truck to the storage facility that I paid for a few months. I went to the closing, came back with her bread. Just like that or whatever. Had to make it happen. I paid those guys for helping me move. You know, I think I made $9,500 or something like that. I probably ended up spending $1,500 on paying her, and so it was $8,000 payday. So whatever.
All right.
Got to make it happen, man. Problems don't have problems.
All right.
You have to get in there and solve them. That's how you get paid.
Adam Macy's Tech Reviews from YouTube said classes in session, and Ty is the professor for today's marketing class. He truly gets it. Lady K said happy birthday. Thank you. All right. Kirsten Morton said, hey, Flip Man, when is it time to have the seller sign the purchase and sales agreement?
Who is that?
Do you need to have?
Wow.
Do you need to have them sign it at a title company, and does it need to be notarized? Sorry, I'm new. Thank you for all you do.
What up, Kristen Morton? No, you do not have to have it notarized. It doesn't have to be signed at a title company or an attorney's office. Not in most states. I think New York may be a little different, but state of New York. You can put it in their hand and they sign it. You get a copy, they get a copy. Ideally, what you want to do, Kristen, is you want to allow technology to handle that for you. My video, if you text me the word contract on the 205-964-5243, I'll send you a video that explains how to fill it out for sellers, how to fill the contract out for cash buyers, how to fill the contract out for cash buyers, and how to get it signed electronically through one of the service DocuSign out there. And so they basically sign it by doing a click, 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 boom. You do a click, 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 boom, it's signed. That's it. So hopefully I answered your question.
All right, this is on TikTok. I have a rental property in a bad neighborhood. Should I sell the house or keep renting?
Well, do you have a good tenant? Regardless of the location, is the tenant paying on time? Are you happy with the amount you're collecting? If you have a good tenant and you're cool with, landlording, no, keep it. That neighborhood could change into something else over there. You never know. But the main thing is that it's cash flowing. It is an asset, and normally an appreciating asset, yeah. But if it's a troubled property, yeah, dump it. Put it on Zillow. If the ARV is 150 on it, put it on Zillow, whatever you can stand, 80, 90, and get rid of it quickly. And use that money to I guess you're here for wholesaling. Start your serious marketing campaign if you hadn't already.
All right, when texting, this is on Instagram, when texting, do I ask if they have a property for sale, or do I ask for a specific property?
Well, no, you want to be property specific. Well, it doesn't matter really, but ideally you want to be property specific once it gets to that specific. Once you get them to respond or whatever, that may be your initial text or whatever, but ideally you want to be property specific. But you can ask about more properties if they decide to talk to you about selling.
All right, how do you find late property taxes on PropStream?
Late property taxes? They have a quick, what is it called? Quick list. I think it's called a quick list, a filter for tax delinquencies.
All right. Houston market, any ideas?
Hit that up a cup. I'm getting a little cool in here now.
Uh-huh.
A little cool. Go ahead.
Okay, Houston market, any ideas, I guess?
Man, you're talking fourth, fifth largest market in the country. Endless opportunities. Endless. You don't ever have to go outside of that market. Endless.
All right. What should the sign say? I'm guessing they're referring to
The Bandit signs? Oh, well, they don't have to say what mine. These signs, they work. In reality, they probably say too much. You got the we buy houses and land. I try to contrast with the colors. That should be like, this probably should be something different, but whatever. Then I got the website. These are dummy signs. And then the phone number. Then I got a little slogan down there, sell fast as is. So basically, just try to keep it as simple as possible. I say this probably says too much in reality. So these are 18 by 24 portrait or vertical.
All right. This is on Instagram. When you do JV deals, would you handle all the paperwork for a newbie?
Well, you're going to have the contract with the seller, but after that, yeah, we'll do everything else.
All right.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Okay, so I just read that one. This one's from Felicia Oglesby on Facebook. She said, "Are bandit signs illegal in some areas? How do you keep track of leads and possible leads and progression of leads and the lease option, like you mentioned, other than pencil and paper?"
Hey, there you go. Hey, is that my sister? She said that. No, I'm just tripping. I'm saying she set up my CRM question. First, about bandit signs. All right. So bandit signs in most markets, I'm saying all, are legal, or they have ordinances against placement of signs, right? The question is, do they enforce the law, right? In some areas they do, a lot of areas they do. So that's why it's important for you to scout out your market to see where bandit signs are staying up. Because normally that means that part of your market, they don't care. They got bigger fish to fry. And sometimes you know why, right? So, but as far as how you manage your leads, that is a great question. How do you say that? Felicia?
Yeah.
Felicia, okay. I have a CRM system, right? And what's CRM? Customer relationship management. What? Huh? Oh, no. I had a customer relationship management system. It's called the CRM, right? And we have, one of the features in there is pipelines, right? So you'll have pipelines set up for your bandit signs, for your direct mail, for your cold calling, for your text messaging, for bird dogs, driving for dollars. So you have all that separated. So now you can see what's working, what's not working. If it's working, you may need to do more of that. If it's not working, less of that, or fix something to make it or to help improve it. Also within the CRM, the communication channels, communication options are great. You can text message sellers, you can email them, you can set a ringless voicemail, and you can actually make calls through the system with just a tap of the button, and it records the conversation. Why is that important? Sometimes you just need to refer back to it and say, oh, just from the tone of the conversation, you missed something that may help you in the negotiations or something. Or if you're trying to train someone or to monitor someone, maybe a virtual assistant or a partner, to see what they're saying. Oh, they could have said this differently. Or you're just trying to basically just even see if they're doing what they're supposed to do or whatever. So if you want access to that, you can text me on the 205-964-5243, the word 3-letter CRM, or you can just go to deallater.com and select the CRM tab. But it's there. You can test it out. You can test drive it for 14 days.
All right. Let's ask one more, and then we're gonna go to the person in the stream.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay.
We got somebody in the stream. Just hold on.
Yes,
We're coming.
I see you.
Monique, what's up?
So Monique asked, she said she found a for sale by owner sign, but they also listed it with an agent on Zillow The
Ooh.
asking price is $20,000 above the Zillow estimate.
Ooh.
Should I even bother calling the seller?
Monique, I'm going to always side on doing something, but in this case, no. They're in la la land.
Yeah.
So no, they're asking too much or whatever. So
All
you
right.
let that one ride. But don't give up on that. If you're driving around, you probably just saw that just on your normal travels. Go ahead and add them. While I just
She
let-
did. She said she found it. She saw the sign on the road.
Okay, yeah, but don't give up on those. You sign up for sale by owner. Also pay attention, Monique, to properties that are for rent. When you see these generic orange, black and white signs, or some of these will be red and white, or they'll be just black and white. Those are normally purchased from Walmart, Home Depot, or Lowe's. That's normally the actual person that owns the property. And even though they're saying they want to rent the property, you call them and ask them, hey, is this property still available? Whether they say yes or no doesn't matter. Your follow-up question or statement is, hey, I didn't call about renting the property. Would you be interested in selling the property as is? And if they say yes, then you'll collect the information necessary to analyze the property. If they say no, your follow-up question will be, do you have any other properties you would be interested in selling? Because a lot of times these people own multiple properties. And I'm going to do a video next week, I think, on cash buyers, how you can build a list and deal at AK PropStream by targeting owners that own multiple properties. And you can target specific areas. Normally, if they own multiple properties, a lot of times they're interested in buying more properties. Add them on.
All right. Athian, I think I'm saying your name right. I'm about to add you to the stream. Hello.
What's going on?
Nothing much. I just got a deal for 2K before the end of last month, and I'm probably gonna get one for 2.5 by the end of next one. I haven't really been getting big deals. 2,000 is kind of what I was usually getting. I was wondering what you suggest to be able to get bigger spreads and be able to make a decent amount with far less.
Okay, well, you say you made 2K on your last deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was your first deal, or you've done multiple deals?
I did one deal before that, pretty much a year before, but
Okay, I got you. What city are you in? What market?
Buffalo.
Okay, Buffalo. So that's a decent sized city. Okay, so number one, congratulations on your deals you're doing. If nothing else, that 2K and whatever you made on the first deal, it shows you that it's possible and it's real. And you got paid that is real. I only made $2,500 on my first deal. So, hey. So, but to answer your question on how you can make more money, what was the ARV on those houses you did those deals on?
Honestly, I didn't really know the.
You didn't know? Okay, I got it. I was the same way. So I got it. All right. So ideally, the higher price the house is, and you may have been in a neighborhood where it's middle priced houses for your market or whatever. It's just how the deal worked out. You only made $2,000. That's just like that sometimes or whatever. But normally, when you start, it's just so hard. When you start talking about maybe 100K ARVs, you can normally make 5 figures on most of those, or at least close to it, right? So 8, 9 grand or 10, 11,000, which would be the 5 figures. Now, once you start to get into 150, 200, then a 5-figure deal should be pretty regular or whatever. So the higher you go up in price, right, is the more you normally make consistently. But on top of that, the higher you go up in price, a lot of times those properties are leveraged with mortgages, and there's maybe less opportunities than the areas that are lower price. So it's like a trade-off. You know what I'm saying? So just do your marketing. You probably know your market or whatever, and don't worry about the amount you made or whatever, because that'll change if you continue to do your more marketing. You made me do a little better negotiating. I don't like I said, I don't know the numbers on the deal you did, but make sure you're targeting enough people, maybe in different levels. You may be targeting a D and a C area or whatever, and you could probably get that range of higher assignment fees with targeting both. And then you may mix in a few B areas, B as in boy, or whatever, and the assignment fees can go even higher. But at the end of the day, it's all about just making sure you're consistently, whatever the methods you're using to market, that constantly on a daily basis. Well, how did you find those deals, by the way?
I was pretty much just using the first one. I was pretty much just using Zillow. Second one, yeah, I had a list from a different wholesaler that I was working with.
Okay.
Called someone up, and then I basically found the property.
Well, yeah, if you're using Zillow as your source, that is a very difficult way, and I commend you on even making some money using that route. But that 2,000 that you picked up, I don't know what your financial situation is or how much you needed it or whatever, but almost all of that would have had to go back into some marketing because you can generate so many more leads. You would only have to use, well, just say 500 to 750 of that and put a strong text messaging campaign together or whatever. And you were going to be able to target many more people than you could on Zillow, because the thing about Zillow is, number one, they're already for sale. So normally you're going to have to negotiate something down that makes sense. All right. The issue with that is once you do that, you hopefully can get them to remove the listing, and that any of your potential cash buyers have not already seen it or whatever. And so then you put it back out there. Now, if all that's in play, then boom, or if you have the right type of buyer, they don't care if it's already listed, that's cool or whatever. But that's one of the more difficult ways to find it. So if you can do that, my man, find the deal on Zillow. If you put some marketing strategies in place, this business will be a breeze for you. If you can accomplish by getting paid off a deal on Zillow, start marketing, and trust me, it'll change everything for you. Because if you can do that, you can do this business, period.
Thank you. I pretty much just got like a $300 list. Got paid $300 to get a skip trace. I'm trying to be able to get more deals right now. It's just kind of difficult though. I
got you, man. Check out the text messaging video. You can go to YouTube and do a search for it, or you can just text me on the number. We'll send you the link. Just text the word text, and you can check out that video if you haven't already on how to put a text message campaign together.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Cool. How long we've been going? We've been going. Okay. How many more we got?
Okay. All right. On Instagram, someone said it was for lunch. We don't know. Birthday cake. They said it was for
Oh, yeah.
lunch.
We got birthday cake, got pesto shrimp, some almond cookies. Oh, yeah. I'm waiting.
All right. This is on TikTok. What type of insurance should I have if I choose to buy and hold if I have a private money or hard money lender, I guess?
Say that again.
It says, what type of insurance should I have if I choose to buy and hold if I have a private money or hard?
Well, as far as, okay, they're going to purchase with hard money or private money. They're going to be, normally, they will be able to recommend who you can use for insurance, right? And I'm sure they have their own insurance in place. So it'll be market specific or whatever. Just ask them who do they recommend for insurance on that temporary financing.
All right, this is on Instagram. How do you feel about the Baltimore area?
It's great. Opportunity.
They're saying
lots of opportunity.
I guess that she can't find a real buyer.
What, in Baltimore?
Yeah,
if it's a great
in a
deal,
bad area. I guess.
Oh, if it's a great deal now, it's tricky up there because you have row houses and you'll have entire blocks and maybe one person living on it. You know what I'm saying? So those generally not the ones that you're targeting or whatever. But if it's quite a bit of activity on the street or whatever, you get it at a good price based on the condition of it, ARV obviously, you still should be able to move it. But you can't be one of those streets where every other house is vacant or whatever. You know, that's just going to be tough. Unless it's just already a lot of development going on in there. So,
all right. If I find a vacant house, would you purchase it? It's a different person. It's on Instagram.
Probably not. But if you put it on the contract, it's a great deal. You can submit it. We make a partner on it, find a buyer for it.
All right. This one's from Samuel from YouTube. He said, "What methods would you use during inspection when the buyer and the seller meet and you're not physically present?"
When the buyer and seller meet, you unless you already have a good relationship with that buyer, you don't want to do that. You want you got to have someone to represent you there, or whatever. Your deal can go south quickly.
All right, this one's from Laura Hudson. She said, "Hey Ty, that bandit sign behind you, I've seen several places. I called and texted several times regarding some land in Moga, but they never respond."
Now I'm reading. If you're if you're sending a text message, I might miss those, but the calls I'm getting, and I think I've gotten that call. I'm sorry. I don't reply. I didn't want any land in Mogul. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Laura.
Moga is hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to move stuff out there. As long as I've been doing it, I looked at a lot of houses over the years in Moga, and I've never been able to put a deal together. I'm sorry, Laura. It's just because it's hard for me to move stuff out there from my experience. So, sorry.
All right. Love Live Nick said, "I have two questions. I'm trying to find a title company in Albany that does lease option. How can I find one?"
Well, what I would recommend you do is just go into either a local wholesale or lease option group in that market and ask the question: what title companies are lease option friendly? What attorneys are lease option friendly? Or you can go to my Facebook group, Wholesaling Real Estate with the Flip Man, and ask that same question. And if you don't know how to get there, you can just text me. I'll be glad to text you back.
I think you may have answered this already, but what is it subject to? Didn't you talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So Michael from YouTube said, "Thank you so much. I've been learning a lot from your channel."
No problem. Thanks for watching, Michael. Hopefully it helps.
Karen Parrish from Facebook said, "Good afternoon, Flip. What do you think about code violation properties for newbie wholesalers? There's a laundry list of types of code violations."
Well, Karen, again, I'm always side on doing something, and code violations, it may be a high probability that those individuals that own those properties, that those potential liens are facing them, are motivated to sell and sell cheap. So yeah, and that could be a source of some more motivated sellers.
All right. I see a few people asking for the number. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, any of those places, the number is above his head. The number is on any of these lower thirds at the bottom of the screen, and it's also going across the screen on the ticker. So 205,
And it's on my shirt.
and it's on his shirt. So 205-964-5243.
Oh,
All right. All right. Keystone Property Solutions said, "Hey, Flip Man, I just closed my deal yesterday off of a Bandit sign. I got more lined up. Thank you for all your help. #respect."
that's what's up. What was
Let's
his
see.
name?
Keystone Property
Keystone.
Solutions.
That's what's up, Keystone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right. Swordfish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 zeros and a 7 said, "Hi, Flip Man, do you incorporate lease options into your training?"
I don't. That's really not my lane. I've done a few over the years, but it's really not my lane.
Okay. TJ Vines asks, "Have you had any success wholesaling HUD properties, HUD properties?"
I've never even made an attempt. It's two. Those are foreclosures, right? And so it just the process is difficult or whatever. No, you got to have the right type. It's just no. To answer your question, no.
All right. Robert Mormon said, "Do you run your numbers for the ARV the same as you did in early videos?"
Not so much. Since I met Jamil and the way his process is, it makes a lot more sense. He's done a hell of a lot more deals than I have. So I basically use his process. If you YouTube search Flip Man Comp Like a Pro, that video he explains how to do it or whatever. If you text me, I'll be happy to send you that video. So, but the way I did it still can work, but he has, I think, a more efficient way of doing it. So.
All right, this is on TikTok. I own 2 acres of land with 2 other family members. They want to sell. I want to build. Should I sell or buy?
You say you own 2 acres of land, they want to sell, he wants to build.
Yes.
That means you need to buy from them and then build. If y'all got to agree on it, that's the only way it's going to happen on what you want to do. You're going to have to buy them out.
Well, he was asking, should he sell or should he buy?
If you don't have the money to buy them out, sell it. You know, don't fall in love with a piece of real estate. There's plenty of that out there. Sell it. Let them go about their business and don't ever do anything with them again. Let them do theirs. You do yours.
How does the lockbox come into play with wholesaling?
Well, ideally, a perfect situation is that you put a property under contract with a seller. The property is vacant. They give you a key. You go purchase a lockbox. You put it on the property. When you marketing the deal, when cash investors or even wholesalers, but mainly investors are reaching out to them, you give them access to the lockbox. They go at their own leisure. And boom, it saves everybody time.
All right. This is also on TikTok. How can one wholesale a property that has a second mortgage?
It's still just money owed on the property. It still just has to be paid off at closing. If the numbers work, if what they owe is less than the amount that makes the deal work for you, you know, it's that simple or whatever. But if it doesn't, it could be a deal breaker or whatever. So we need to close this up. We've been running.
Yeah. We had just a few more, but okay. I've been feeling bad.
Well, yeah, we've been running though. We did good today.
Just let them know that it is.
Yeah, if you got questions, you can post them in the comment section of any of my YouTube videos, or you can just text me on the number or whatever. I answer a couple there also on the 205-964-5243. It's on my shirt or whatever. Make sure you like this, share it. You're on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram. Everything you need to know is right there on my YouTube channel. Don't forget about the CRM if you need to manage your leads, follow up, more deals, more deals, more checks. But everything you need to know is right there on my YouTube channel. So you have no excuses. You have nothing to lose when the knowledge and training is free.
Oh, he did. This video will be in replay mode on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, a whole bunch of other places. If you didn't get your question answered, you can go there in the comments and ask it, or you can go to any video on YouTube and he will comment. He does that daily. I also do it daily. And yeah, bye y'all.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me, and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
You text me, then I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-5243. Now you know 205.